Can you introduce yourself? Tell us your name, where you're from, and a little bit about yourself.
Well, hello everybody. My name is Jada Alcazar. I'm 16 years old. I was born and live in Mexico. My favorite color is maroon, and I belong in the kingdom of God.
Great.
My name is Hertor Alcazar. I'm 18 years old, and I'm a Mexican that lives in Mexico. And I also belong in the kingdom of God.
Excellent. Me too. Wow. For how long have you been studying with the Ron Paul curriculum?
I've been studying since January 15 of this year, 2014, so that makes it approximately 3 months.
Same for you, Hector?
Yeah, it's about 3 months.
Okay, good. And you are brother and sister?
Yes.
Hector, you don't go to school in the same way that many Mexicans do. So do you think that it's possible to get an education, a useful education for life, outside of the traditional school environment?
Yes, it is very possible, and I think it is preferable because it makes you a more self-disciplined person. It allows you to mature faster in the areas of learning and having a sense of responsibility. I think it also gives space for a family education and the sufficient time to spend with your family members in order to strengthen family ties and grow in greater unity. While in a regular school, you have less quality time with your family members and you all kind of form different ideals, I think, in most cases.
So a united family helps you grow as a person and your character, which is perhaps a very important but neglected thing. What do you think, Ada, about the same question? Is it possible to get a useful education outside of a traditional school?
Yes, it is very possible. I also agree with my brother. It helps you grow in a more united and solid family. And parents who never finish studying or who want to learn more can take the class with their children. Of course, they would have to pay their part, but it does let you study wherever as long as there's internet or Wi-Fi. If the family decides to go for a vacation or an emergency occurred and you have to go somewhere, you can still keep on studying as long as there's internet, so yeah.
Great. Wow, that's useful. So, Hada again, no school uniform, no school bell, and no school teachers in the traditional sense. So, what else, apart from Wi-Fi, do you need to study using the Ron Paul curriculum?
Well, you need a computer or a laptop, which that's essential, and you need a notebook for each class so you can take notes, pen or pencil, eraser or whiteout for your pen, depends on what you use. On public speaking, they recommend a good microphone and camera. And you also need a good level of English spoken, written, listened, and read.
Excellent. Okay, anything you'd like to add there, Hector?
Yes, you also need the links for the classes and the readings the curriculum proportions you with. And I need to say that having encouraging family members will help a lot.
So one thing that you're emphasizing here is that this is a family enterprise and it will perhaps change the kind of family that you have or allow your family to develop. Yeah, that's very interesting. So can you give us an idea of what a typical day using the Ron Paul curriculum looks like?
Well, you wake up at whatever time you like, since the Ron Paul curriculum gives you that freedom. You do your usual chores and you start studying at whatever time you want.
And how long does a typical day take for you?
Well, it depends on how long you take doing your chores and taking the classes. In my case, it takes about 3 to 6 hours, and I take 4 to 5 classes a day, sometimes 6.
Okay, useful. And you, Hector? What's your typical day with the Ron Paul curriculum?
Well, I turn on the computer and enter the curriculum as a member, then enter the specific course you are studying, and I start taking notes. When the class is finished, I read the daily readings for the courses, or if it is Friday, I take a quiz or write an essay. And finally, in the end, I check the forums, where students write, ask questions, you can answer them, they post your essays.
So it's not just you and your virtual teacher, there's a community.
You can get feedback from other students and you can give them feedback.
So you're making friends with people outside of the normal school environment as well. That's great. Okay, didn't know that. So what are you studying at the moment?
Right now I study biology, government 1B, and English 1, and I just finished studying government 1A.
Okay, and same for you, Hector?
Government 1B, biology, English 1, and I have also finished studying government 1A.
Excellent. So, how do you study with this curriculum?
Well, the teachers use screencast, where they make PowerPoint presentations and they record their voice, so you can take the lessons as if the teacher were with you or if you were in a classroom. In government 1B, our course provider, Tom Woods, apart from recording his voice, he also records himself, or in other words, lets us see his face, which in my personal opinion, I like it because you get to enjoy the class a lot more and you get to know your teacher better.
Excellent. So it's rather like a university lecture system, and I suppose the forums are a little bit like the tutorials. So it sounds like a very good preparation for university independent study. Now, Hector, again, how was your transition from traditional school to the Ron Paul curriculum?
I was very excited to try a new way of education, and now I am studying in it. I actually feel I've learned a lot more than what I did in a regular school. Mm-hmm. Another good thing is that it took me just 2 days to be able to enter the rhythm of being homeschooled. Now that I am used to it, I wouldn't trade it, especially when it is in the Ron Paul curriculum.
Sure. Excellent. And what about you? How was your transition from what you did before to the Ron Paul curriculum?
In my case, it was easy because I had stopped studying for a little while. So coming back was exciting. But I would say that even if I hadn't stopped studying for a while, it still would have been easy and exciting since it's a whole new, better, and different way of studying. There was a learning curve in the sense that I learn more now than I used to before in a public and private school since I took both. So with the Ron Paul curriculum, you get a better education. And my adjustment took about a week, maybe less, for the same reasons that I hadn't studied in a while and I had to get back on the rhythm.
All right. So didn't take you long to adjust, but you are adjusted now and you find that you're learning more than you did before. That's very helpful. So how would you characterize your experience with the Ron Paul curriculum? Is it hard? Is it easy? Tell us about it.
I love studying in the Ron Paul curriculum. It is very easy and helpful to increase in knowledge of great many things and in a real practical manner. It also has well-prepared teachers and content that is rarely found in the great majority of schools.
And how is your experience, Hada? How would you characterize it?
It is very easy, complete, and helpful. It has a great preparation for the university, even if they don't give a certificate. I would dare to say that it can help anyone learn a lot more than what they know now. I would also say that you learn in one course, let it be English, government, or biology. In one course, you can learn more than what you learn in a whole school year, either public or private school.
All right. Now, I think I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Would either of you go back from the Ron Paul curriculum to traditional school?
No, I wouldn't go back to a traditional school for the same reasons, and I just love how you can enjoy life in a school like this. It takes a lot of pressure off. It lets you enjoy your family and friends. It helps you join extracurricular activities where you can maybe learn more or enjoy a sport. Depends on the likes and dislikes of everyone. The Ron Paul curriculum is breathtaking. I would recommend it to anyone.
Like I said before, I love the education in the Ron Paul curriculum, so no, I wouldn't go back to a traditional school because it truly can be compared to the education the Ron Paul curriculum has and the freedoms it offers you to be with your family.
Okay, so it's academically very good. It suits the way that you learn. It doesn't take a long time to adjust to it, and it has really helped you grow in your family. It sounds like a really winning proposition. Now, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Well, the Ron Paul curriculum has such an accessible price for such good education and teachers. It's an opportunity you don't want to lose, and I highly recommend it.
Thank you. And what about you, Hector?
The Ron Paul curriculum is a very complete educational curriculum, perhaps even more than most of the curriculums that exist. However, many Mexicans, I don't know about the US or other nations, But many Mexicans would hesitate in using the curriculum as their only source of education because it doesn't give you a certificate that proves you have studied. Although, they do recommend you to create a blog, like in WordPress, and write down your essays in it to hold some sort of written proof. And also, the US offers tests as CLEP to revalidate everything you have studied. And here in Mexico, we have our good old friends from the Learning Center to give us alternatives in grading, certificating, and everything. So I would say that the Ron Paul curriculum is the way to go.
Thanks for listening. If you would like to learn more about the curriculum, go to ronpaulcurriculum.com. To find out more about the Learning Center and the wider work of Vision Mexico, find us on Facebook or go to vision-mexico.com.